Right, so these are the personality styles that we actually kind of work with. Okay, so like I said, we do a sort of profile test before you start trading, and it's really important because you know, we offer like 3-month programs here. You know, it's kind of taking you from beginner to advanced. You know, if you've already got experience but you want to just come in and potentially be part of the fund and you want to prove yourself, then obviously we do sort of customized ones as well, but we'd have to have a talk about that. But essentially, these are the 4 categories that you fall under, and I'll kind of I'll run through them and then maybe have a think about, as we're speaking, which one of these, and it could be more than one, you think you might fall under, and I'll kind of give you a rundown of, you know, what is the most conducive to trading. So just have a think, and I'm going to ask you guys in a couple of minutes just to type in what you think you might be. So the first one is a detailer. So you are naturally very organized, analytical, a non-risk taker. Okay, security is important. Then you've got the bottom liner. Okay, if you're a trader, you probably, some of you will at least fall a little bit into this. Wants the bottom line essentially to make money, to get results, fast-paced, risk-taker, business-minded. A feeler is very emotional, soft-spoken, slow-paced, wants to be everyone's friend. And you know, these are just generic sort of points, just to give you an idea. And an exciter, where you have loves recognition, people orientated, very excitable, not into details. So if you know which one of these, or 2 of these maybe, I would say 2, you probably wouldn't be more than 2, would you most fall under, guys? Anybody, you know, if it's a little bit of each, just put 2. It'd just be interesting to see what you guys think of yourselves, and I'll share with you as well what which categories I fell under actually, and you know, what I had to work on actually to get that consistency. Okay, so we've got a bottom liner so far. And anybody else? Alfred, brilliant. Bottom liner detailer. Okay, another bottom liner detailer. How about the rest of you guys? You've put, you're an exciter. Okay, so Charles, you're probably an exciter and a, would you say, Charles, that you're quite okay at executing trades, or do you hesitate? Ah, interesting. So you'd say you're okay. You're fine if you're on a streak of winning, but when you're not, do you hesitate to take your trades? Would you say? Ashraf was asking me, do you think I should be trading if you're an exciter? It's something. It's not okay. I'll go through them with you. I'll explain the 3 of them, and the ones that are probably going to sort of be the most detrimental. So far, okay, perfect. Okay, so Charles is getting better. Okay, fine, perfect. Anybody else want to answer? Most of you guys have put an answer in, to be fair. Okay, perfect. Okay, so Ashraf, I'm going to answer your question as we kind of go through these right now. So actually, the best kind of natural personality, if you do actually, you know, once you do the risk profile test, if you do fall under the category that you guys believe you fall under, would be a detailer and a combination of bottom line and detailer. You certainly need to be a bottom liner. Okay, you need to want to make money. I mean, that's natural. You know, we're financial traders. Okay, so if you're not interested in money, it probably isn't the right thing for you. And the detailing side is, you know, being organized and actually, you know, the whole journaling and analytical. So this, not so much the non-risk taking, but then, you know, you kind of have that in the bottom line, and that's why a combination of the 2, often it gives you the best sort of makeup of a trader. An exciter is dangerous, okay, because if you're only an exciter, then you know, you naturally probably like getting emotional. You know, you like the high of trading. You know, you just, you know, and it can be a bit of a roller coaster ride. So I would just be a little bit careful with that. Now, it's something that you need to work on. Now, just to give you a little bit of kind of confidence, when I sort of first started, I fell under the bottom line and exciter categories, okay, and the detailer as well. It's kind of a combination of 3, but I did have this element to me, and it's part of, you know, it's part of my sort of makeup. So what I try to do is use this in the right areas, but actually find a way to be very systematic when it came to trading. So I moved a lot of my characteristics over to this side. That's why I added the detailed trade journal and the strict regime that I'm on, that I fall under every day. I have a very, very strict routine that I follow, and it's something that I created accountability to make sure that I do follow that. Yeah, so that's why we have, like I mentioned before, your peer group. So no matter what category of these three you fall under, there's always a way that you can work on it. Now, if I'm honest, the worst one, if you said to me you're a feeler, I would say this is probably the hardest category to actually help you to become a financial trader, because you've got all the traits that are really, really bad for trading. So getting emotional clearly isn't going to help you. If you're sort of timid, don't think fast on your feet, again, it's not something that is going to be great. Now, if you did fall under this category, what I would work on you with is looking at longer term trades. Okay, so therefore you're not looking at the markets, you're using much smaller size, much bigger stops, much bigger targets, and we would work on finding a system for you that would suit your personality. But luckily nobody here so far has said to me they fall in this category. Hopefully that is accurate, but like I said, for you guys that said detailer bottom liner, that's perfect. Okay, and I can see already, I know just the way you've been speaking, a couple of you definitely that said you fall in these categories. I'll probably say you're probably right. Any questions, guys, before we move into the next bit? Gonna move on, but if we do have any questions, I'll keep looking over. Why is trading psychology so important? People kind of give you different numbers, but here's how our view is. We believe that trading success is made up of 10% strategy, 30% money management, and 60% trading psychology. Okay, because no matter how good your strategy is, if you haven't got the right mindset, you're not going to be able to implement it correctly. You could definitely change these percentages. You could argue money management is just as important, if not more important, than psychology. But certainly, this area here is certainly the majority here. So I just want to read a couple of quotes here that we've got that again is kind of illustrates the point. So Sun Tzu said, "One may know how to conquer without being able to do it." So we could teach you how to trade, we could teach you things that work, but are you going to be able to implement that day in, day out when when things are going wrong? Like Charles said before, when you've got a few losing trades, it's something happened to psychology there. Okay, that's the test. So a lot of people know what to do, and that's why you get a lot of good demo traders. When you trade on demo, you've got no emotion there, and therefore you can just kind of execute what you should do and you make money. As soon as you put your money on the line, suddenly something changes. And so what's really important is, again, that's why we mentioned before, don't trade with money that you can't afford to lose, because if it's smaller amounts of money compared to your wealth, it means that you're more likely to implement your strategy. And Aristotle said, "We are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act but a habit." Okay, so again, you need to have good habits, and it's something you need to work on every day. What's going to make you sort of optimal to trading? What's going to make you stop trading when you need to stop trading? Very, very important that you have that as part of your plan. So if you think about the above quotes, it's not knowing of something but the doing of something that really matters. So why do you think such few people follow through? I believe it's because it's what we mentioned before. I believe it's about belief systems. If you don't believe in your system yet, you haven't done it for long enough, you're ultimately not going to continue to follow through with your plan. Brilliant. So James has just put, "I'd like to be more of a detailer. I keep a journal but don't look often back at it." Yep. It's something that James, I'd recommend maybe just put it in, I don't know what, if you use calendars or anything, for appointments, I would just put maybe like an appointment with yourself on a point when you've got time, maybe on a Saturday, 12 o'clock, so that it just reminds you that, you just put like something like important review trade journal, and just literally just schedule half an hour in on your weekend maybe, or whenever you have time, and that way it's kind of something that just always pops up every week. Just put it to repeat. I use just a Gmail calendar, but you can use Outlook or whatever, and that could be a good way to actually do it. But I agree with you, it's something that's important. It just kind of gives you a bit of perspective of how you've been trading as well.